Hello and welcome to EV Review Ireland. My name is Derek Reilly. We are in Weston Airfield in Dublin in Ireland, and we're at the launch of Polestar, which is just coming into Ireland. It's the 22nd market and it's launching with the Polestar 2. So let's have a quick look around the car. Inside, outside first, then inside, then take it for a quick drive. I have the car for around 90 minutes, so it'll be a quick run around. Love the styling on this, and it is very much about style. The Polestar CEO is the ex-head of design for Volvo. And so they have the CEO, designer, and they also have their own head of design. So it's there's a lot of design going on here. Really nice Polestar badging, which is the North Star. You have this techno grille with the sensors in the front of it. And then you have, because the parent company, Polestar were the performance element of Volvo, but it's separated now. And you have, it is a partner, and its overall owner then is the Geely Motor Company out of China. But you'll see that Volvo inspiration throughout it with the likes of the headlight with the Thor hammer, beautiful LED lights, and you have, depending on the model, whether you're going to have fog lights or not, down in here. Moving along, then you've got some active aero in underneath. There is a Frunk inside as well, so we'll open up that in a bit. But style-wise, at the front comes a number of different colours. I really like the look of it. I like that fastback look. I like the angularity of it, and I like the fact that it's a bit more traditional looking car-wise with that grille. Some people prefer the Tesla Model 3. I was parked in front of the hangar door and they had to open it up. But anyway, we'll move down alongside. As I said, you get 19 and 20-inch wheels. You have the graphics on the door talking about the model, the size of the battery, and the whether you've got the performance pack, etc. Some glass or some matte black cladding on the wheel arches and down along the side. You have these protruding arm handles, which is refreshing from the aero stuff that we're getting all over. So it's nice, substantial, has a light. Gloss black A pillar, B pillar, and then that C pillar then is in body colour. Charging port is on the passenger side. AC is 11, DC I think is 135, but I'll confirm that. Overall, I really like it. Nice, strong shoulder line as well. And it has that extra crease then midway down, concave. Beautifully designed. I'm a big fan. Those frameless mirrors are gorgeous as well. Let's have a look around the back. Down along the back, and being a fastback, you've got that hatch. We'll talk about that in a second, but you have this real distinctive, which is an EV signifier now pretty much, but a lot more, not just EVs. It has a LED light bar that goes all the way along. 288 LEDs. You have your Polestar logo. I thought that either there'd be a button here or here, but it's in underneath here. Your matte black cladding then with your parking sensors, etc. Great access in, over 400 litres worth of space, which isn't huge, but the fact that it has that hatch opening definitely helps. You have that false floor and that well underneath. 12 volt, tie-off points, 60-40, and the 40 split is unusually on the other side than what we're normally used to, which is great. And you've got that ski hatch coming through as well. So practicality between this, which is over 400, just over 400 litres, and then the Frunk, which is over 70, I think it's 71 litres. And then putting the seats down at 1700 litres. Lots of usability, lots of space in that, and that power tail lift is great. Let's have a look on the inside. When you get in, you really notice the design on those wing mirrors and those handles. They're so easy to find. And very easy to open up. So you have a 12 inch, 12.3 inch I think it is, fact sheet. Hold on a second. They've got a press sheet internally here for all the stats and all the figures. So let's not guess, let's get it right. So we have a large driver infotainment scene, large driver instrument cluster. The driver display is what they're calling it, and it is 12.3 inch HD driver display, or the info pill as they call it, when it's charging. So from the outside it illuminates in kind of a pill shape in yellow, and it tells you what's left to get to charge. I'm this week currently driving the Volvo XC40 single motor, review coming to the channel soon, and a lot of the switch gear is very similar. As much as this is a Polestar 3-spoke steering wheel, the buttons on the left and right hand side are very Volvo-esque. The gear selector, as much as there's a Volvo or a Polestar, it is again a Volvo. It's a very similar Volvo switchgear. So good to see that they're using that quality product as well. Dash-wise, this one doesn't have a head-up display. I don't know if a head-up display is an option, actually. I didn't see one. It has a lovely textured, soft, rubberized plastic. You've got some fabric in here. You've got some textured diamond effect. Decent-sized glove box, which is great to see on a left and right-hand drive model. Stalks, again, are Volvo switchgear as well. And you have the ability to open the boot from here. Memory seats in this model, 2 positions, all your electrics here for your windows, your central lock and your ring mirrors. Lovely little button on the handle here, design feature. I thought it did something, but it's actually just aesthetic. Large center console, and for an EV, it's unusual to see it. This in display center screen is 11.15 inches. It has Android Automotive built in, has over-the-air updates, wireless charging pad. You've got a volume selector here, but everything is done through the screen. You've got some quick access to demists. You've got reverse neutral drive, single cup holder, and then a second one in the armrest if you want it. And this one can be removed, I think, by the looks of things. Yeah, it can, if you want to take it out. If you just wanted a full cubby hole there. Otherwise, no sunroof in this option, and depends on the pack. So they're not doing too many individual options, they are doing packs. Prices wise, let's get the fact sheet up here, which is very handy for us. It comes in standard range single motor in Ireland. It starts at 54,500. Then we have long range single motor, and then long range dual motor. So it's 54,500 for the single motor standard range, and then battery in that is 69 kilowatt hours, and then the battery in the long range is 78 kilowatt hours. Usable on those are 67 and 75. So at the standard range starting at 54,500, and then the long range dual motor jumping up to 61,900. And if you want the plus pack and the performance pack, that jumps it up then to just under 75,000, 73, 74,000 depending on. The single motors obviously are all front wheel drive, not obviously, but they're on one of the axles, and then the dual motor is all wheel drive. It has 165 kilowatts starting with the single range going all the way up to 300 kilowatts. Brake horsepower 224 to again up to over 400. Newton meters of torque 330 all the way up to 660. Performance wise, you're doing 7.4 seconds, then down to 4.7 for the dual motor. Energy consumption is between 16.7 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, all the way up to just around the 20 mark. Range 474 to 482, that's WLTP, and it has a drag coefficient of 0.27. That's the stats here. It's a 400 volt architecture system. We talked about the battery size. DC, it's up to 155. And then for the standard range single motor and for the dual motors, the long range, the bigger battery, the long range dual and single motor, that goes up to 155. So depending on what size battery pack will dictate what size DC you get in it. Charging time, AC, around the 7 to 8 hours. If you're getting it at the 11 kilowatts that it can take. And then for DC from 10 to 80%, about 35 minutes, so pretty standard range stuff. Length is 4.6 meters with a wheelbase of 2.7. Towing capacity, it can also tow 1,500 kgs. Roof load, if you can put 75 kgs on the top of it. We talked about the alloys, 19-inch all the way up to 20-inch. There is, on the performance pack, you get the Brembo brakes, you get the forged alloy wheels, and you also get that 22-way dampeners, adjustable dampeners, if you want that performance pack, and that's the one that has the gold seats or seat belts as well. A couple of cars here today, and there was a larger press crew, so I wasn't able to get that one, unfortunately, but hopefully we'll get it on the press drive when we get it out and about. So built-in Android Automotive, lots of stats there. Let's jump in the back and see what the rear space is like. I'm 188 centimeters high, tall, 6'2". Let's seat set for me. Jump in the back. There's a lovely design feature on the rear glass element. It looks like it's glass, but it's actually dark. It's not see-through on the door when you get in. Bench is a bit high, actually not bad thigh support. Feet can go in underneath the seat in front of me and they're nearly touching the seat in front of me. I feel I'm higher up, so I think there's a kind of a benched system here where it's staggered up, and obviously the battery pack is in underneath. There is a transmission tunnel, so a middle passenger would be difficult and maybe not that comfortable. We've got 2 ISOFIX in the rear. You have a rear headrest, so they're thinking about it, and you have the cup holders here as well. And we said we have that 60-40 split. Underneath the flap we have, again, very Volvo-esque. Maybe it's only accessible from the rear. Yes, it is only accessible from the rear. Interesting. Head height, probably 2-3 centimeters. So yeah, it's just without the panorama sunroof, it's a small bit cramped for my height. You have some air vents. You have 2 USB Type-Cs. Take it for a drive. So it's not too deep of a frunk. It is wide, but good size here, and it's nicely carpeted as well, so all the chargers can go in there. We've got a plane taking off over here in Weston, so not sure what the audio is going to be like. What's it like driving the Polestar 2? Yeah, it's very accomplished. You can feel that it's set up for driving. It's not as hard a ride as the recent Model Y I had. Steering wheel is good size. It is that Volvo size, so it is. It's nice and chunky. Driver display is good. Infotainment screen is good. Seats are comfortable. It's got that nice side bolstered. You're a nice height as well. You're a traditional fastback saloon sedan height. Go this way. We'll give it on the M4 just to see what the motorway noise is like. Yeah, for a quick spin around. It's hard with the shorter press elements to get a better driving impression. When you have the car for longer, I'll be able to do a proper, maybe a coast to coast or a more in-depth review. But initial impressions, I like it. It's comfortable, it's refined, it seems quiet, but we'll confirm that once we hit the motorway. Make sure you've subscribed to the channel if you haven't already done so. As I talked about at the beginning, we're on a big drive to 10,000 by the end of the year, so it'd be a great help if you could. Like a lot of cars nowadays, you also have an app, and look how beautiful this one is designed. Nice, clean and clear. You've got doors opened or locked or unlocked, climb it on, climb it off. But very stylish and design-led, very much like the car itself. So yeah, there is an app availability and that connectivity there. Let me know in the comments if you've already ordered one, if you're currently driving one. These have been out since 2020, so they're a bit late coming to the market here in Ireland, but they're operating in a number of different markets, and they'll be opening up in a number of different markets over the coming months and years. We're going to get the Polestar 3, which is the SUV, the luxury SUV, next year. Polestar 4 in 2024, and then the Polestar 5, which is their Precept, which we saw, their flagship sports car. That's going to be in 2025. Interesting to see. Production for Polestar is currently in 2 locations in China, and then also in the United States in a Volvo factory. I think it's in Charleston is where they mentioned it. So Polestar USA made vehicles will be for the US market, and China will look after the rest of the world. Just coming on to the M4 here now. Now it's 80 kilometers an hour, so I'm not going to get much speed up, but Let's try Google Assistant. Hey Google, navigate to Weston Airport, Dublin.
Navigating to Weston Airport.
So because it has Google built in, it's also telling me what the percentage battery is on arrival, which it'll be 95%. Display here on the center console, but also on the driver display, lovely big wide 12-inch screen. Yeah, good information being given to me. So with the drive modes, you get 3 different levels of steering feel, and then you've got one pedal driving, standard, low or off, and then you've got creep, off or not. Driver assist, then you can have cruise control, driver alerts, collision avoidance, lane keeping, road sign, and ready to drive notifications when somebody pulls off in front of you. Good big charging information there, and you can set the charge limit and what amperage you want, and you can also schedule it, and then you can gives you the charging status, the car status, as to if there's anything issue with the likes of the tyre pressures, etc. Configurator is going to be launched in the next couple of weeks. It's going to be based in Sandyford in Dublin, and Spirit Motor Group are going to be the partners here. Servicing in Ireland, you're going to be working with Volvo garages because of that Volvo connection. So if you've got a Volvo garage nearby, that's where you would bring in your Polestar if you ever need to bring it in. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's look around the Polestar 2. Make sure you've subscribed to the channel, like the video, leave a comment, and remember, if you think an EV is for you, leave it to me and I'll review. Thank you very much for watching.